More than a decade before the elevation of Leo XIV, the true first pope hailing from North America, which is what we in the US say whenever a Canadian accomplishes anything, was baptized in Mountain Dew and consecrated by Cool Ranch. Geoff Keighley is a Canadian-born games journalist and TV presenter, now most famous for hosting the post-E3 summer announcement anchor known as Summer Games Fest, as well as its calendar opposite, the Game Awards, a special night once a year for gamers to come together and have collective amnesia over the fact that media award shows are just bullshit advertising events masquerading as meritocratic celebrations of craft. Today, we come together to celebrate the merits of this crafty media advertiser by cementing his legacy in the form of 3 pitches to make the ultimate video game experience featuring the utterly licensable likeness of the one and only Dorito Pope. This is Armchair Devs, Geoff Keighley edition. Hello and welcome to Armchair Devs. I'm your host, Coast to Coast, Dr. Agro, and in order to accomplish this titanic task set before us, I have scoured the vast reaches of the internet to bring together a panel of the 3 most powerful pitch masters I already knew were available and willing to be here. Please welcome today's contestants, Dan, the Summer of Video Games.
I not only pitch, I can also catch some pitches, as you can tell from this series we do.
Not relegated to the pre-show, we have Bob Video Games.
World premiere.
And never one to make a controversial statement, it's Chris Wolfhart.
Redacted.
Now, if you've never joined us for Armchair Devs, what happens here is that each of our contestants have brought a pitch they prepared for the ultimate Geoff Keighley video game, including a lovingly crafted piece of art that they'll be revealing later in the episode. Though each are no doubt strong and beautiful, in the end, there can be only one. Right now, though, we're going to need to start with the elevator pitches. Each contestant will have 30 seconds to present their pitch in the best possible light. And today, I do believe we're going to be starting with Bob Video Games. Bob, you have 30 seconds whenever you begin speaking.
The game industry is fractured. Its very backbone, the Game Awards, attacked by a mysterious time-traveling force known as the Deep Dark. Geoff Keighley and his friends must follow them through time to protect all the years of gaming the Game Awards empowered. In the Game Awards, the game. This is a 4-player beat-em-up with an emphasis on platforming and reliving the greatest moments of the last 10 years in gaming and Geoff Keighley.
One and the same.
Of course.
Okay, and time. Just finish my notes here. The Game Awards, the game.
It sounds like... Imagine you go to GameStop and you're like, I would like to pre-order the Game Awards, the game. They're going to be worried you're having a problem.
Now, Bob, is that a colon or is the game a subtitle?
It's a colon.
Okay. That's the most important part of your pitch so far. I'll make sure I had that squared away. All right. Next up, I would like to hear the elevator pitch from Dan Video Games. Dan, 30 seconds on the clock whenever you're ready.
Geoff Keighley is arranging his universally beloved The Game Awards ceremony when all of a sudden the games for the show all went missing. You play a cool gamer kid made in a character creator who meets all of Geoff's famous friends and works with them to save the show. Can you collect all the game parts and get the show on the road in Geoff's Gamers? Can you? I'm asking.
I'd rather not.
And time. All right. We are seeing some pitch ideas come to light.
I like how much we're hearing the word game.
This somehow will beat out even our 3 or 4 hour Big Think episodes to have most uses of the word game.
Look, repetition is the key to retention. We're getting the key concept through.
Yeah, I think repeating a mantra involving the word game 17 times is how Geoff does it for the Game Awards too. He just does that backstage. Game.
Okay, last and hopefully not least, Chris, whenever you feel the spirit move you.
We all know Geoff Keighley is one of the most influential human beings of all time, with his charisma and fashion sense making him one of the biggest celebrities in the world. Because of that, we are proud to introduce the Keighley Effect, a choice-based text/graphic/audio adventure. Rewrite histories both old and new as you make choices with real consequences, which we can do because this game is composed entirely of text and still images.
And time. Okay.
Can I play this game on my Apple Watch?
Does it have a web browser?
It could, I guess.
Then yes. Probably.
All right. So that was a scintillating round of information coming directly at my face. But I think now is the time for a little bit of elucidation, some clarification, a little bit of expansion, if you're into that sort of thing. Now, Dan, video games.
Hey, what's up?
You have pitched me this Geoff's Gamers.
Mm-hmm. Which, noting, GG.
Ooh.
That's going to feature heavily in the logo.
Okay. All right. I gotcha.
Yeah.
So it seems you're collecting game parts.
Uh-huh.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Can you go a little bit more into that, the overall structure that we're looking at?
So this game is a rather ambitious 2D platformer retro-inspired game. You go to these various worlds, and one of Geoff's famous friends will be in each one. And in the platforming levels, you will get the pieces of the game that fit together like a sort of almost jigsaw, like a card, to form the whole game. And you collect all of those so that way you can beat the game. You need to move on to the next world after you get the various games. So, you'll be going to a Hideo Kojima land in order to put together his new game for the show. Joseph Ferris will have his own thing. You go to his world, and each of these will have different environmental themes and stuff.
Okay. A platformer where you collect jigsaw pieces. I think I'm becoming more familiar with the core concept here. Sort of waves of familiarity breaking upon the shore. Let's see here. Bob, video games.
Yeah.
You're the Game Awards, the game. Game. It's a 4-player beat 'em up.
Right.
I'm going to hit you with a small two-parter. Give me the 4-character lineup for your protagonists and rattle me off a couple of the enemies I could expect to be facing.
All right. We actually have more than 4 characters, just so we're clear. But the main ones are Geoff Keighley, Schick Hydrobot, Wiz Kyle Bosman.
They're like ice climbers?
Yeah, they're a combo team.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh!
Hideo Kojima, Reggie Fils-Aimé, Joseph Ferris, and of course, everyone's favorite, Chester Cheetah with a bag of Doritos and a Mountain Dew.
Chester Cheetah with a bag of Doritos.
Yes.
Okay.
Betrayal.
Yes. He's now the just Frito-Lay man. He can have it all.
We call him King Frito. He refuses to answer to anything else.
And because you're going through the different eras in the different year that the Game Awards existed, we'll be facing off against all sorts of iconic people from the last 10 years in gaming, like Aisha Tyler with her famous Girlwood necklace. The Witcher's Geralt, Tracer from Overwatch, and they're all going to be infected by the Deep Dark. That makes them evil.
Mm.
You have to make Tracer evil?
No, they're already evil. You have to punch it out of her.
Oh, I'm just saying something had to infect Tracer to make them evil.
They were just British before.
I think there's a lot more frustration going on there than just being British.
All right, but before this episode attracts any more angry letters than it already has, I think we're going to move on from there. Thank you, Bob Video Games. for your totally achievable licensing scheme. Chris Wolfhart.
Yes.
Now, we've heard from these other two already of several aspects of their game, several ideas and gameplay styles. But I think the most important thing to ask about any video game based on Geoff Keighley as a personality that we haven't yet heard from you is how prominently does Hideo Kojima feature in your game the Keighley effect?
Our game is composed of multiple routes, because you make decisions. It's sort of like it's Oregon Trail-esque resource management, and making decisions changes your resources and gets you certain events and locks you out of others. Hideo Kojima is a major part of many routes, and in some conclusions, you can in fact marry him.
Finally.
Yes. Perfect story.
Do you play as Geoff Keighley and marry him, or do you have your own character and marry him? This is important.
You control Geoff Keighley making all of his decisions.
Okay.
Starting from based on the campaign, you could be starting from as early as 1988 when he was 10 years old, and then you go from there.
Okay, thank you very much. That is going to lead us to our second round of questioning as we delve deeper into the mind palaces that produced these wonderful pitches.
I just tried to go to my mind palace and the textures didn't load. Can we go somewhere else?
Dan, Video Games.
Hi.
You've said a lot about the friends in Geoff's Gamers. Yeah. Colorful characters that play a part in Geoff Keighley's life and experience. So I'd like you to tell me a little bit about the portrayal of and uses for the four-man superband Weezer in your game.
Is just a quick question of clarification before I continue. Is it mandatory that Weezer is in my game in order to win this? Because let me tell you, I'm flexible. Is Weezer a metaphor here, or
doesn't have?
No, I could change. I can change. Change. Come back, baby. Come on.
If the clock's running out, you gotta make me believe.
So Weezer's in the game apparently.
Go on.
Mm-hmm.
You know this because when Geoff contacts you from his yacht as you're going throughout the game, you can see he's listening to Weezer, and Weezer is hanging out on the yacht with him. You see little speech bubbles to the side that show that they're just barely off screen in some of the shots. And then later, for the conclusion of the game, they're all there. All four famous guys from Weezer we all know the names of, right, Bob?
Yeah?
Like Chris Whiteman, Robert Pale, all of them, all four of them.
Thank you, Dan. Video Games. Go.
You ever hang out with dudes and then listen to their music?
Yeah, I thought that might sound a little like they'd probably feel weird about that if nothing else.
It's like Geoff just co-opted some sort of they released a new album celebration event and he just made it his shit. It's believable.
Bob, Video Games.
Yeah. Weezer's in my game, of course.
But enough about that. You're making a 4-player beat 'em up. Could you please describe to me some of the combat mechanics in your game? What sets it apart and makes it special?
It's actually going to play a little bit more like a Smash Brothers game than a typical beat 'em up. So we have a whole bunch of different planes to move around on. All in the same, there's no moving back and forth. It's like Smash Brothers where it's all one side perspective, but there are enough little platforms to jump between. And everyone has a more extensive combo list because of this.
So you've got a full-on 2D side-scrolling camera view.
Yes.
So it's more of an action platformer than a beat 'em up.
Technically, but the idea of a beat 'em up is there from it being 4-player.
If the judge will allow, I believe they call them platform fighters. For some reason, only Smash Bros. And Smash Bros. Clones are called that.
Right, but this isn't a platform fighter because it's not like it's a teamwork sort of game. There's no
There's no fighting in your game.
There's no fighting each other. There's fighting humans. It's all fighting AI.
Well, I have no friends, so Smash is always me fighting.
I see.
Okay. Chris Wolfhart.
Yes.
You have shown me a bright vision of some of the possible futures available to me in the Keighley effect. I'd really like you to dig a little bit more into that. What's the overall structure of your game? How are these routes set up? What am I looking forward to? What am I looking up that game facts guide to try and get to?
Well, it's very similar to the browser game, the new campaign trail, wherein a person will write a campaign, all these different events, very light resource management. It's not very complicated. It's very minor. You know, you have maybe 1 or 2 bars. You don't even get actual numbers. And then the author of that route will write different events, and it's a very limited choose your own adventure, which lets us just crank out campaigns. So you have to select your campaign. Each campaign will actually have many different endings. So it has tons and tons of replayability because again, mostly just text. So for example, maybe you don't marry Hideo Kojima in that route. Maybe Hideo Kojima died in a boating accident in that route, and now Geoff is punished, Geoff.
It wasn't the yacht, right? Not Weezer 2.
Yeah, I was like, not Weezer 2! No!
Of course, how successful you were up to that point will determine what sort of boating accident Hideo Kojima passes in, because it will be after he accepts the proposal, but before they actually get married to maximize
that's even more tragic.
Geoff's fall.
God.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna power through the Starfield flashbacks. And move on to our next section here. Gentlemen, I have asked you to look deep inside and find a way to put your soul on the canvas. Your art prompt for this pitch: Geoff Keighley is a man known for his threads. I asked you to draw me the iconic Keighley fit for this game. And I think we're going to start this round with Chris Wolfhart. Chris, show me that drip.
So in each campaign in the Keighley Trail, Geoff will look a little different, you know. On Punished Geoff route, he has the debris coming out of his head. On the route where he inexplicably becomes the president of the United States, he's wearing a red, white, and blue suit with a top hat, you know.
Of course.
Basic stuff. But I think the most impressive one is from the route that starts in 1988, where a 10-year-old Geoff Keighley wins a major Nintendo tournament and starts his career significantly earlier, significantly increasing his potential fame and accomplishments. So here is young Keighley.
Oh my God!
How could you do this?
This is the worst thing I've ever seen on this show.
This isn't right what you've done.
Bob, you're editing this.
Oh my God. The placement, the proportion is
It's horrible.
like it feels like it's coming out of the screen at me.
And the worst part is the juxtaposition of these two things makes me also believe he's Scott Aukerman. I'm seeing all 3 of them in this image, and it's horrible.
Whew.
Oh.
All right. Oh. Thank you, you dastardly son of a bitch.
Oh, God. Is there any way to hide it? I don't want mine art seen next to this in this Discord channel.
Oh, that... All right. All right, we're moving on from there. Going down my list. Bob Video Games, please do not one-up this nightmare.
It is not my intention to.
It never is.
We'll see how people react. This is Geoff Keighley in his fighter's outfit for this game. As you can see, his head is very big. We're going with a look like that, so you can really see the features of all these iconic gaming icons.
Wow.
He's got the Game Awards wing.
Just the one?
Just the one.
He's a one-winged angel?
He's one wing.
Of course. I mean, the other wing pops out when he does a super move. But we aren't going to have it there all the time. That'd be ridiculous. And of course, he has his custom sneakers for this, as always.
Is this a macro pinstriped T-shirt with a suit lapel?
The suit lapel is like a separate shroud-like thing attached to the wings.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Kind of wanted this to be like
dynamic.
What would Geoff Keighley wear if he were Heihachi?
Oh, is that what we're... I thought it was a Solid Snake bandana.
I mean, that's going on too, of course, because you know.
Okay.
That's something I've never thought to wonder, but now that it's been brought up, I feel my soul more complete for having known it. Thank you, Bob Video Games. Rounding out this gallery of wonders, Dan Video Games, show me the fit.
So, of course, as I said before, Geoff's guiding you through the process of rescuing the games for the Game Awards. He's not there with you doing it. You're going to be communicating with him over the phone the whole time from the yacht, which apparently has Weezer on it.
You don't sound very excited about that.
No, I'm just saying it's apparent that Weezer is in my game. I think we all understood that from the start, obviously. Anyways, so as I said before, this is sort of a retro-inspired game, where we're collecting these pieces for him. So he's going to pop them in cutscenes and just congratulate you in between worlds. And here's one said cutscene where he's wearing his iconic fit of khaki pants, a very tight, to show the muscular nature of Geoff in this game, turtleneck, and his off-white undershirt that's a V-neck. He's a little scared. Things aren't maybe going as fast as they should, and he's absolutely mortified that it won't all be ready for the show.
I just need to know, is that a goatee or a shadow under
the shadow for his chin?
Okay.
Because
all right.
Look at the sight line with the sun back there. You can see it would cast a little bit of a shadow under his chin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is not personally the breadth of gap between the color of khakis and the color of skin I usually enjoy in an image.
The NES color palette is incredibly limiting as an artist who is incredibly limited.
I just like... Does he have some sort of condition? His hand is a different tone than his face.
Is it a glove?
Is he wearing a khaki body sock with like the lips and eyes cut out?
No.
We're not entirely sure what the concept artist was on when they finished this, but they got the art done on time. There's nothing in the text here. I'm looking through all of our documents. There's nothing that says he's wearing a khaki body sock. But I guess I should go check with them to make sure there's not a miscommunication between them and this sprite art team.
I mean, he got it in on time, and video games are a collaborative effort. These sort of things come up. We can iron out the details later, because right now, we are moving on to my favorite part of the game, even when I'm not participating in it. This is the part of the show where I ask each of our contestants to turn the knives on each other. They get to ask each other one question that they would most like to hear the answer to about their pitch. And I think we're going to start this round with Dan Video Games.
Bob, are there any progression elements like leveling up or gathering equipment or anything else to add replay value and make the player feel strong in your game?
Yes, there is a more traditional level up system where you collect experience points and just get baseline stronger. You don't need to go look for shops or anything to get the exact upgrade you need. You just, by playing the game, you will naturally become stronger and stronger.
Is there a New Game Plus?
Yeah, you can just keep replaying. You can replay individual levels you want. There's even an arcade mode without the leveling system if you don't want to engage with that. Okay. Or, you can get strong enough to kill everything in one hit.
Okay, cool. Chris,
Yes.
Getting your game absolutely everywhere possible is really important. Is there any way to make it a game that can be deployed via streaming on Netflix?
Yes. Because it works out of a browser or an app that you pay money for on Steam. But it could, which is basically it's just a custom browser. Don't tell anyone.
Your secret's safe with us, man.
No one else is listening.
Yeah, I know.
So technically, you could play our game on the Nintendo Wii if you have the Wii browser.
Wow. One, that seems like an ideal way to do that. Two, thank you for answering that. Three, Aggro? Weezer?
Yes, sir. Can I help you?
Okay, well, no, I'm good. I'm done. I'm done asking questions. I got all of my questions out.
All right. In this day and age, I can safely say that turnabout is fair play. Chris Wolfhart, you are unleashed.
Bob, your game's a 4-player cooperative beat 'em up.
That's right.
List everybody I can play as in your game.
I already did.
Oh,
Yeah, it got kind of woven into stuff.
I can just make up some more if you want.
no.
Dance for me.
List all the bosses in your game.
All of them. All right, here we go.
Yeah, there can't be that many. It's beat 'em up.
And then somehow this beats the number of flavors of ice cream I brought that one time.
Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Oh, that's good.
Dragon Age Inquisition's Corpheus.
Okay, I guess it did win Game of the Year that one time.
Aisha Tyler's Girlwood mode.
Yeah, I want to kill them.
Dave Lang, Undead. Because
what else would he be? He's gone.
right.
Rip.
The Guardian from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Kratos. Sekiro.
Old or new?
New Kratos, because he won.
Okay.
Joel from The Last of Us.
Does your game have a golf club weapon?
It does. You, in fact, have to do this. You can't stop it.
Oh, no.
The book from It Takes Two, so Dr. Hakim.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Oh.
One of the guys who hosted the Guerrilla Collective, the one who couldn't win a snowball fight. The dev bot from the PC gaming show. Melina the Blade of Mikila from Elden Ring. Phil Spencer in his Hexen shirt. Baldur's Gate 3 Asterion. In that green guy from Concord.
Everyone loves that green guy from Concord.
Thank you, Bob. That was an unbelievable list of memorable encounters. Dan.
Hi.
Is there some kind... You're no offense, but your game just seems like the sort of thing where somehow in the game hidden is a phone number children can call for a fee to win some sort of prize. Is there this sort of thing in your game?
Yes. If you get the true ending of the game and go to a specific level and wait long enough, the clouds can float by and form a landline phone number. And if you call that, you get to hear a voicemail recorded by Geoff Keighley congratulating you for being such an epic gamer. He says, GG, gamer, you did it. You saved them all, even Reggie's really terrible AI game that we should have cut from the show. You did it. The show was only possible because of you.
Does he talk in the Alfred Chicken voice?
No, but you will hear it in the Alfred Chicken voice because it's just so that's all you'll be thinking about the whole time. Geoff Keighley and Alfred Chicken, a powerful combination.
Okay, rounding out this round. Bob Video Games, please ask your questions.
Dan, in your game,
Yeah.
is there any way to complete it early and make Geoff do a show with nothing in it?
There isn't a way to complete it early to do a show with nothing in it. However, the games are able to be shown without you getting every last piece of them, and that will affect the ending you get and the impact of the show. Also, the final game, Reggie's game, is one you can just not collect at all and get a normal ending. The irony is Geoff will just air an AI ad in the place of that game trailer that didn't show up.
Oh my God.
So either way, it's AI.
I want to be able to mash that X7 button and launch into the moon. I'm sorry, X5.
We just want to go. The show's good. Go.
Yeah.
Go. Do it, Geoff. Do it. You won't. You call him back on the phone. You're just like, Geoff, I totally got them all. Do it now.
Yeah, it's like Summer Game Fest 2020. It's like, there wasn't anything here. Oh no.
I'm still having to look at young Geoff Keighley up here, and I just
It is still there.
I'm gonna just.
Speaking of young Geoff Keighley, Chris,
Yes.
is there anything else I need to know about this young Geoff Keighley? What adventure does he go on? Because he's so much younger.
He can meet Bill Clinton.
Oh my God.
He can die in 9/11.
Whoa. Impactful.
He can accidentally kill Socks the cat and cause an international incident.
Oh God.
Incredible.
Think of it as Forrest Gump, but with young Geoff, young Keighley,
Oh my God.
and the 90s.
Whew. It's great.
All right. Well, I think we all learned a lot or something. So we're coming toward the latter part of the show here. So before we run out of time, I'm going to need each of you to try and slam in that last little bit, that last juicy nugget extracted from your pitch. I need you to tell me that one thing about your game that you need to say but haven't had the space for. And we're going to start this round with Bob.
Okay, I think I need to make it clear why we are able to do this. This seems like insane, right? We have Nintendo, we have Sony, we have Microsoft all working together on one game.
Yeah,
Like, how can you do
I'd
this?
very much like to hear that.
Yeah.
Luckily, Geoff is hidden in the contracts over the last 10 years that if they appear in his Game of the Year show, he has the right to do this. And somehow nobody thought. They just missed it.
One moment. Doesn't that technically mean that kid who stormed the stage can be in this game?
Absolutely.
Do I get to kill him?
Yes.
Dude. That's awesome.
But, you know, nobody truly dies in this game. You see his brain fly
no.
out, but then it just says KO.
I think that might be fatal. I think your brain
I don't know.
Okay.
It's unclear.
I don't know how it works.
It's cartoony enough.
Okay, just gotta update my notes here. Call my lawyer. There we go. Next up, Chris. Give me that last bullet in the chamber.
So, our game will have Steam Workshop support. Anybody can make their own campaigns and art, and you can download it and put it into the Keighley effect. Our plan is that eventually there will be enough of these, we can feed them all into an AI and make infinite new campaigns.
We'll leave AI prompts in the text.
Only in the first couple waves, then we'll figure out how to make it stop.
It's weird that one ending I got where it just like Geoff Keighley turned towards the camera and then he said, "You are over the query amount."
It's one of my favorite memories.
That hit me, dude.
Oh man, what a stunningly limitless vision of the future. I'm going to rapidly now turn to Dan Video Games. Dan, what you got left?
Okay, so our game is obviously a publicity job for Geoff Keighley, a la MC Kids for McDonald's. It's just a game. The product is getting you sold on Geoff Keighley and how cool the Game Awards is. And because it shares so much in common, we want to make sure it nails the same feeling. So we're really going for that crazy Amiga-inspired soundtrack. So you're going to have these amazing over-the-top tunes. You've never heard anything like this before. just all sorts of crazy arpeggios and other stuff playing out on this chiptune soundtrack. And there's a Weezer cover.
Really?
And it's not pork and beans. You're welcome.
I feel so seen and pandered to. I'm having a positive emotional reaction to this news.
Is that allowed at Armchair Devs?
Well, thank you, Dan.
No problem.
So I know that last round I said was the last round. But this time, I super for sure mean it. This is the last gasp, gentlemen. You will have 30 seconds each to give me your last minute, last ditch effort. I need to hear it. I need you to tell me why I should pick your game over the others to cement the legacy of the legend himself. And we are going to start this round with Bob Video Games. Bob, whenever you're ready.
I didn't get into what the Deep Dark is. The Deep Dark is actually Yum Brands. It has iconic characters like the KFC Colonel and the Taco Bell Bell. They are infecting these characters from video game history, so they also are providing the funding because they get heavily featured within this game.
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 Game. Game. Game.
Game.
Game.
Game. Game. Game. Game.
Time.
That was a spiritual moment.
Thank you, Bob. Dan, you have 30 seconds.
My game's simple. My game is broadly appealing. It is not, in fact, text in a web browser or images. It doesn't involve what will undoubtedly be the most insane lawsuit across several corporations ever seen. It's a very simple game, and we will be able to sell it at an affordable price because, again, the product isn't the game. The product is Geoff Keighley and the Game Awards, where we can run ads. That's what we're here to do, and we're here to do it with a smile on our face and with only a couple cameos we can get, like Schick Hydrobot.
And time.
Oh, but you didn't even get to hear about, they'll never know.
It's a true tragedy.
Oh.
And bringing up the rear, Chris Wolfhart. You have 30 seconds to wow me.
In our game, Geoff Keighley can die of dysentery. We'll make 400 million on streamers alone. Also, our game will make the world better by keeping the sort of people who get really fixated on alt history forums out of society. They'll be busy playing our game or working on it until we replace them with AI. Also, if I don't win, we're releasing young Keighley into the general populace.
Wait, like he's the real thing?
We had to reboot it. Some things went bad.
Oh no, I'm sorry, we don't have time to go into that.
I'm just imagining the zombie movie style aerial shot of a crowded public place and young Keighley walking as demented music plays.
Well, you've all given me a lot to think about and lock my door against. I'm going to need to take just a couple of minutes to deliberate, and then we're going to find out who has won this episode of Armchair Devs. Okay. Now, before I announce a winner for this episode, I'd just like to go over these pitches with you and give you some of that feedback that there is purportedly no end of, no shortage of. Dan, Video Games.
Hi.
You seem to have made a lovely throwback adventure in a well-tread genre that is a celebration of the history of our favorite guy who wears sneakers with suits. It also seems to be a vehicle for advertisements and sideloading a defense of the use of AI in video games to vulnerable children. But, that's okay. Sometimes we just have to go with the market trends, and I feel like this might be a way forward for the legacy of Geoff Keighley. Bob Video Games.
Mm-hmm.
You have presented to me a well-stocked product with recognizable, leverageable properties and characters, callbacks and references, the kind of self-incestuous palimpsest that really gets the true fan fired up to consume a product. You also seem to have declared legal war on the entire video game industry with the production of this game, which is, it's somewhat concerning, but I'm a big fan of coming at criticism to a piece of media where it is in and of itself, not in its larger context. So maybe we can put that aside for now and just let the lawyers worry about that.
Soon they will all bow to Geoff Keighley, their god.
Chris Wolfhart.
Yes.
The Keighley effect seems to be an eminently producible product. This is something that we can easily scope and make, and eventually sounds like we'll have other people make for us, and then it'll make itself. That's an infinite return on investment. So far as I'm aware, that's quality product management. You also, in the midst of creating this, seem to have birthed an unholy monster and are threatening to unleash it on the populace at large. That might be somewhat of a PR misstep.
We'll frame it as your problem. You didn't pay enough, so we can't contain this monster anymore.
Appealing to the deep-rooted puritanical morality of at least the United States customer base. Smart marketing. Through it all, and in the end, no matter how many of these pitches seem like wonderful projects we would love to create, and we're just going to keep what that number is under wraps. In the end, we can only greenlight one of these projects, because that's just how the industry works these days. The winner of this episode of Armchair Devs, Geoff Keighley, is Bob Video Games.
Yes! I did it! We get to sue everybody!
Bob, at first I was concerned that you had made a cobbled together mess of terrible references that wouldn't hang as a game at all. But then I realized your rampant contract abuse was going to cause a waterfall of litigation, making the entire video game industry go to court with the proposition that EULA abuse and small print cannot be used to harmfully leverage contracts against signees. You have found a way to hold the entire tech industry ransom to let you use their IPs. This is brilliant.
Thank you. I'm glad you understood the vision.
It's all about reading between the lines. Well, I'm very glad that we could all come together as video game producers to cement the legacy of beloved video game industry icon Geoff Keighley. I hope you've had a good time listening to this episode. I hope Geoff Keighley has a sense of humor and either never hears about this or takes it in good spirit. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Armchair Devs.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Armchair Devs. Podcasts like this and Big Think Dimension are only possible with viewer support. If you'd like to help us in the fight for good content, please show us your support over on patreon.com/gbpodcasts, where you can also listen to the extended pitches that couldn't make it into this episode.
The executive producers for this month's Gigaboots videos are Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Cooper Tank, BN12, Rado, Virmvarm, and Matcha Bunny. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these guys. If you want to become an executive producer or normal patron, head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.